What is up, everybody? Welcome to Depression Talks with the Manual. And in this community, we openly talk about depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem openly. So hit that subscribe button because I promise you, you are not alone. Now, just to open up, I have clinical depression and possibly now bipolar depression. And I struggle with anxiety and I'm an alcoholic. So when I talk about the issue of the difference between depression and sadness, trust me when I say I have a little bit of an idea of the difference between the two. And after going to counseling and seeing this help and that, like I said, I have a little bit of understanding between the difference between sadness and depression. So real quickly, I'm going to comment in the comment section to make sure that you understand why I'm making this video, because I've received some comments lately between some people saying depression is not real, sadness is a real emotion, and depression is just an excuse for doctors to give you medication because they want to make money, and so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and quickly do that. But here we go. I'm almost there. Okay. So basically, I've been having this argument lately that there's no such thing as depression, and the reason why there's no such thing as depression is because there's no such thing as a chemical imbalance in the brain. People believe that all you have to do is focus on the positive or focus on what's going right in your life to be happy, and that is enough. You have to exercise, meditate, eat healthy, and if you do all those things, you should be happy. Now, I'm guessing that the people that make those types of statements are the same people that don't deal with clinical depression themselves, that don't deal with bipolar depression, don't deal with actual clinical diagnosed depression. I'm kind of upset about this because when you make statements like that against people that have been diagnosed with depression or even not diagnosed, you are showing that you don't have empathy towards people that deal with something that you may not deal with. Okay? So here, this is the first comment. I'm going to put it in the chat right now so that way all of you can know exactly what happened. I'm not going to put the person that said this, but depression is not real but a label. Sadness is real and a real emotion. Okay? Now, to that person that commented that depression is definitely real. And to put it bluntly, when you are sad, okay? When you're sad, maybe something just happened to you. You just gone through a breakup, a financial struggle, a family loss. Maybe you got a bad grade on the test. You don't fit in somewhere. You feel unpopular, and you're sad. Sadness is very temporary. It can last for a little bit. It can last for a month, a day, an hour. Okay. Sadness, you are sad about this one specific thing that made you upset. This one specific thing. Okay. Now, here's another comment that I received from someone agreeing with them. Okay. Apparently, it's too long to put all of that stuff. Okay, all right. Well, basically, that person said you can free yourself from your depression by meditating, by eating healthy, by stretching and things like that. Okay, that's not true. All right, that does help. There are different levels of depression, though. Some people believe that depression is just one thing. Everybody has this thing called depression, and it's equal for every single person. That is not the case, okay? This person over there can have a depression level that's low. This is normal state. They can have a depression level that's down here, and somebody that has mild depression could be up here. So if they exercise, eat healthy, and do the right things, quote unquote, they can feel a little bit better. There's endorphins that are being released in their brain. Serotonin levels are being released. So they're able to be at that normal level. But people that are down here, for example, me, I can exercise, I can eat healthy, and I can meditate. But here I am, still down here. So to make that statement that's saying that as long as you do those three things, you're good, no, that's not true. So when you are depressed, I want to make sure I put this and really emphasize this. When you are depressed, okay, you feel like there is no hope. There is nothing that will change how you feel. Yes, you're probably making money. Let's say you're making money, and look at Kate Spade, for example. You're making money, you're successful, you have a relationship, you're getting help, and you still feel depressed. You feel like there's nothing that is going to get you out of this pit of darkness. That wherever you walk, sunshine can be raining in the skies, but there's this cloud over your head that is making you feel like nothing is worth being here. That is depression. That is the difference. Sadness is temporary. You're sad about this one thing normally. Let's say 2, 3 things. You just failed this exam. You just got through a breakup. You just went through a divorce. You family loss. You are sad. Family loss, depressed. Temporarily. It's very temporary. Let's say you're sad for a month. That's mild depression, okay? Clinical depression or bipolar depression or other mental health things is when, for a consistent amount of time, that you feel like you don't want to possibly be here, that whatever positives are happening in your life are not worth it, that no matter what somebody says to you, whatever compliments, your job changes, whatever, you move to this positive place, no matter what you're going through, you are feeling down. You're feeling sad. You're feeling depressed. So that argument of saying that sadness is the same as depression is false, in my opinion, is very false. And to put people who deal with mental health issues into a category that is this small, right? You're putting them to the small box right here, the small little box, right? That's not, you're basically saying that everybody that has a brain is pretty much thinking the same way you do. And I think what upsets me is this, and many people that deal with depression or mental health issues, this is what upsets them, is when you believe that the way you think is the only way there is to think. This is most likely people that say that depression does not exist. This is their mindset. My name is Joe, and I went through this thing that sucked, and I was sad for a period of time. But I started working on myself, and I got through that sadness, and now I feel happy. So because of this, I feel like everybody else should be able to do the same thing I just did that easily, or the same struggle, right? Because I've focused on the positive and started working out and I meditated and I feel better, you're supposed to be feeling better too. So I'm going to apply that logic that what worked for me to everybody else. That's not the case, y'all, at all. What might work for you may not work for somebody else. Does that make sense? Let's see. Oh, the Scientuna says hello. What is up, the Scientunas? Welcome to the live stream, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, if I sit here and say to you, I have a certain body type, right? I have a certain body type, all right? I eat certain ways, and I work out at the gym, and I have a certain ritual, if you will, to be healthy. I'm not going to sit here and say, all right, if you do the same exact thing that I do, you're going to be looking like me. No, that is such an ignorant statement. Everybody's body is different. It's complex. It is not as simple as that. So, it's so frustrating sometimes. I tell you, so frustrating. Mauricio Roman, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. Says, hey man, found your channel from an old alpha male comment you had dropped in his videos. Been watching some of your recent videos, and I gotta thank you for telling your story and struggles. Very insightful and motivational. Hey, oh snap! Thank you so much, man. I do appreciate you saying that. Wow, that made me smile. That put a smile on my face today. Right on, Mauricio. The Scientuna says, yeah, everyone is so different. We're all on a spectrum that's infinitely variable. There's no way we can find a cookie cutter template for everyone. Cookie cutter template, man, I should have used that one. You beat me to it. Nobody's the same. You can't cut something this one way and expect it to fit for everybody else. That's not even the way that life works. I'm going to make a statement, and I hope that it impacts a lot of people in a positive way here. This is the issue that we have in a lot of issues when it comes to religion, sexual orientation, anything in life. Just because you think a certain way about something does not make it true for everyone else. Just because you think a certain way about something does not mean everybody else thinks that same exact way. Do you not understand that there's over 1 billion people on this planet? And that each individual has their own perspective, mindset, and reactions to things? And because of that, the way you think about something may be different than the way that somebody else thinks about something? Can you not understand that? So just because you feel like this worked for you about sadness and getting out of that sadness does not mean that the same thing will work for somebody else. Depression and mental health is a big, complex thing. Complex. It is not simple. You can't be cookie cutter, as the Scientologist says. You can't be a cookie cutter and apply what works for you to everyone else. It's as simple as that in every aspect of life. Lasha Banks says, hey there, someone's ritual is personal because everyone doesn't have the same access. That's even better, either financially or emotionally. That's very true. What if you talking to your parents helps you, but what if I'm not close to my parents? Then what? Are you gonna say, well, you're sorry out of luck? No. Let's see here. Lasha Banks says both environmental factors and genetic/hereditary limitations are stopgates for a certain combination of healing rituals. Exactly. Very true. I'm not going to get too much into my hereditary, but it does run in my family. What if it doesn't run in your family? I'm an alcoholic, okay? I have alcoholism, and that does not run in my family very much, if I believe. Okay? But here I am. And if I had said to myself, well, it's not hereditary, then I would just be belittling my issue that I have. The same thing applies to anybody's mental health. All right? Every single individual is different. Man, I'm heated about this. Skylar and friends, what's up? Welcome to the live stream, by the way. Lasha, Skylar, and friends, everybody. Skylar and friends, I wish more people realize that. Laugh aloud. So many believe the world revolves around them. Man, dude, yes. So many people believe the world revolves around them. So many people believe that. It's a very common concept. Have you noticed that when you're in a conversation with someone, I want you to test this out, and I guarantee you're going to be so interested about the results. Go up to someone and say, how are you? They will say, I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How's your day been? Now, let's say they're having a bad day. I'm tired. I've been through some stress, blah, blah. Then normally what happens is this. There'll be a competition about who had the worst day. Well, I woke up early. I was tired. I was groggy. And I came to work. There was traffic, blah, blah. Man, I feel you. That happened to me too. And I got to work and I had all these assignments to do, blah, blah, blah. It's a competition to see who has the worst day. And the reason why I brought that up is because the same thing applies to mental health. People want to say they have it worse and they have all the answers. They have all the answers. I had the worst day. I know what's going on. My day is worse than yours and I'm focusing on myself. And by me knowing that I have a worse day than yours, I feel better about myself. You know, I had a worse day. So the same thing applies to sadness versus depression. Well, I'm sad and I worked on it and I feel better. So I understand what sadness is. So if you're depressed, think about what I did. I'm going to think about what I did and apply that to you. That's not how this works. That is not how depression and mental health works. You cannot apply what works for you to somebody else. Simple as that. It's like saying I wear size 5 jeans and everybody else is going to wear size 5 jeans because of it. Really? Really? Come on, man. Come on. The Scientologist says, my uncle once told me that if I had differences/disagreements with my brother, whom I'm very near and dear to, then how am I supposed to expect other people I meet with different upbringing and culture to be exactly like me? Wait. Then really? You see how confused I was just by reading that? What? Okay. The Lasha Bank says, aha, so true, Scientologist. The difference is that people are motivated to understand and relate to relatives as opposed to acquaintances. So the insensitivity starts there. I think mainly people. I agree. Skylar Friend says, haha, you're right. Why does everyone want the worst day in that scenario? But you're right, that happens. Yeah, all the time. Please test it out. If you don't believe me, go up to somebody, say, how are you? They'll say good. How are you? Say, I'm good. My day's been stressful. I woke up late. My alarm clock went off and I hit the snooze button. I woke up late. Watch them begin. The first thing says, really? My day went terrible too. I did this. I. Why can't they say to you, really? How come the snooze button went off? Why are you so tired? Did you stay up late last night? Hey, it's okay. No, it's completely on themselves. And that's how we apply the whole logic of the world. It's so annoying. I might make a video on this. Mauricio Roman says, the whole reality of the world actually doesn't revolve around you. Can be a gut punch a little at first, but I feel once you really see that as the reality, it's the first step to a process. I agree. Once you accept that the world does not revolve around you, it completely changes. Everything completely changes for you. You realize that people have their own feelings and perceptions and realities about things, and that, oh no, the way you think might not be the same way everybody else thinks. And you know what that starts? Empathy. And empathy is something that the world definitely needs a lot more of. Hey, the scientist beat me. Wow, you said empathy first. Yeah, so if you just now joined the live stream, I just want to quickly recap this. The difference between sadness and depression. When you deal with sadness, it is very temporary. Very temporary. Like, you just failed this exam and you're feeling sad. You're just went through a breakup and you're feeling sad for possibly months, if not sometimes years. Hopefully not years. If you go through financial struggles, family loss, you're feeling sad. But it is temporary. Temporary. That's the difference. Depression can be temporary as well. It can be. But what I'm talking about is clinical depression, clinical bipolar depression, which I might have. This has lasted a lifetime. And the argument that just because, hey, just meditate, just focus on the positive, just focus on what's going good in your life, exercise. I do all of these things, and I'm still dealing with clinical depression and possibly bipolar depression. All right? So to say what works for you and your sadness might possibly be because you do not deal with clinical depression. Here's a line. This is stable, okay? Normally happy every day. Average happiness every day is 7 to 8, stable. Here is mild depression. If you exercise, stretch, work out, you do all the right things, eat healthy, you might bump up to that right here, that stable level, because you're releasing endorphins and dopamine and serotonin into your brain. I think about this stuff, okay? Now let's say you have clinical depression or possibly bipolar depression, and your depression levels can be anywhere here, okay? Let's say it's down here, all right? You work out, you meditate, you eat healthy, you do all those things, and you're still down here. You're still right here. That is why you cannot put what works for you onto everybody else and say depression is not real. Ah, man, these comments sometimes, I can't let it get to me. But I don't like when people comment on other people's comments. That happened recently. This person literally, somebody else in my community, in this community, okay? Somebody in this community opened up and said, I thank you so much for making this video. I deal with depression myself. I'm struggling with this. Somebody in this YouTube community right here said that, on my channel said that. This guy commented on their comment and says, if you just focus on the positive, what's wrong with you? I almost went through the computer and had to punch somebody in their face. I never went through computers before, but I was about to turn into some serious ghost type stuff and do it. Oh man. Yeah, they should. Skylar and Friends says they should teach empathy in schools. Yes, they should. The scientist says just snap out of it. Oh, I gotta stay calm right here. Snap out of it. Whew. When people say that to you, have you ever dealt with that, right? You're depressed, you're feeling sad, you're feeling down, and somebody says to you, snap out of it. Why aren't you happy? What's wrong with you? Oh, man. The older I get, so I'm 25 now. The older I get, the more the less patient I become. The Skylar and Friends says, a lot of times depression doesn't have to have a reason to be depressed either. Life can be going great and still depressed. Yes. Yes. So a week and a half ago, I crossed 1,000 subscribers in this community. Now I like to say this community, this is a community, not a channel. People talk about channels all the time, but this is a community. And for a week and a half there, I was feeling happy. Like a week and a half, I literally have been happy. And then out of nowhere, yesterday and today, I felt very depressed, very depressed. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And I saw my counselor. I literally just got back from my counselor, which I'll make another video about that. And, you know, everything seems to be going right in my life according to the viewpoint of other people. But here I am, still depressed. So just because everything could be going right in your life does not mean you're happy. That's not depression, you know. Sadness and depression are two different things. If success cured depression, celebrities wouldn't be committing suicide. Oh my gosh, y'all are really saying some really eye-opening things. I'm gonna repeat that. If success cured depression, celebrities wouldn't be committing suicide. Look at Kate Spade, and I forgot the other guy's name, but look at Kate Spade. Man, some people just have this mindset that it's just that easy to be happy. It's not like that for everybody. Joel George says, do you know Infinite Waters? I do know Infinite Waters, and that's actually where these comments came from. I enjoy watching Infinite Waters. He talks about meditation, you know, bettering yourself, looking at the positive lives, not the ecosystem, but the universe and things like that. When I commented that, you know, depression is something that deep people deal with, people instantly came back and said, nope, you're supposed to focus on the positive, meditate. Nope. And that's the issue I had there. Yeah. So, you know, by the way, real quickly, comment down below. What do you think the main difference is between sadness and depression? Comment down below what you think the main difference is between sadness and depression. The main difference. I would love to hear your perspective. Is it emotions, life experiences, perspective, lack of meditation, eating? There's no judgment in this community. No judgment. I would love to hear your perspective on this. And hit that like button if you really do enjoy this, by the way. Excuse me. And lastly, I do want to make a really quick announcement. On this channel, I've noticed that y'all really are enjoying these live streams a lot more than me uploading videos sometimes. I'm going to try to do a balance of both, but I will be doing more live streams and hopefully applying a chat here so that way you can see your own comments on the screen. Donations that you can possibly do for this channel, because I want to do this full time for you guys. Like, I would love to do this full time for you guys. I see some people join the live stream. Also hit that bell notification so that way you are notified when I make a live upload. Skylar and Friends is awesome. Skylar and Friends says the absence of reason could be, yes, I agree with all these things. All right, y'all. Real quickly, if you have any questions, please ask them now, because this is the part of the live stream where, you know, I start to incorporate more Q&A type stuff. As you can see, I'm engaged with you the whole time, but this is the specific part of the live stream where you're open-ended questions, whether it be, you know, things you're dealing with in your relationship, depression, you know, are you dealing with how to build confidence or lack of confidence, whatever questions you have, I would love to answer them right now. But to quickly recap while you're typing out your questions there, sadness and depression are not the same thing. A person can be depressed, and sadness is a part of depression, but in them itself is two different things. If you are sad, it's possibly because of a recent event, a certain circumstance that just happened in your life that changed your life, and you will be sad. You'll be crying, sad, okay? But then it's temporary. Sadness is temporary. Depression is when you feel down, possibly for no reason at all. No reason at all. Everything's going right in your life, and you may feel like you have a sense of hopelessness, that there's not a reason to be here anymore. You have no motivation to wake up in the morning and take the day on. Lazy, lack of motivation. You hate life and possibly hate yourself. And you feel guilty because the storm's over your head and people are telling you things are going great, things are going awesome. Who are you to feel this way? that is the main significant difference. And sometimes depression, yes, it could be temporary. It could be temporary. But clinical depression, clinical diagnosed depression, or bipolar depression, or any other mental health issue is significantly different than this temporary sadness. I've dealt with depression my whole entire life. My whole entire life. Since in elementary school, but I didn't know exactly what it was until I turned 25. 24, 25. That's the difference between the two. Look at y'all commenting. Oh my, see, this is why I'm about to be improving my live streams. I cannot wait. I'm telling you, I've been working so much behind the scenes, you have no idea. Hala Shahud, what's up? Welcome to the live stream, girl. Says, sad is feeling down. Depression is feeling sad, empty, and nothing is worth it. But I'm now on, so I have no idea what you're focusing on. No, don't worry. Hey, Hala. Ooh, I like that name, by the way. Hala. That's a cute name. You're exactly right. Sadness is feeling down. Depression is feeling sad and empty, and nothing is worth it. Lasha Banks says, depression deals with hormone levels. So those times you have no reason to be sad or depressed is in fact chemical. Very true. Clinical depression does deal with chemical imbalance at times. That's not always the answer. Sometimes it's like, I've been studying this stuff. Sometimes I'm not saying I'm an expert or something like that. I'm not. I don't have a degree in this. But sometimes, like, it could be, financial stress. Maybe you've been dealing with financial stress for years, so you're going to be depressed for years because of it. Other situations like that. But most of the time, it is a chemical imbalance. That's very true. Joel George says, depression is when you're bummed out, when you feel down sometimes, and it's when you feel like you can't do anything, and sadness is when you feel like crying about something that terrible happens. Yes, exactly. So depression is when you feel down sometimes, and it's when you feel like you can't do anything about it. It's hopelessness, right? When you're depressed, you feel hopeless. Like, what's the point of being here? Like, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've done this, I've done that. My life is going great. Look at my job. Look at the money that I'm making. Look at, societal standards of what success is. Look at that. Look at Kate Spade. Kate Spade had money. Had success. Here we are, still committing suicide, And there's so many videos I'm about to be coming up on this, like, is suicide selfish and all these things. I can't go into this video, but people don't want to talk about depression. They don't want to talk about, suicide. They get scared, they tense up, but not on this channel. Not in this community. Not in this community. Yeah, so Lasha Banks is right. Laugh loud. I'm nodding my head and talking to my screen like my mom. This is really great. Hey, Lasha, what you want? What you doing over there? Nodding at the screen like I'm talking to you, because I am talking to you. That's right. Go ahead and nod that screen, girl. We talking one-on-one right now. Okay, right now. The scientist says, depression feels like all my past achievements were fake, and that the real me is the worthless one. It's not that everything is more negative, but that the fake layer of positivity is taken away. Man, hey, the scientist, can you comment that verbatim after I put this up? After this live stream's uploaded, please comment that. I will pin it, because that is such a beautiful description of what depression feels like. Depression feels like all my past achievements were fake, and that the real me is the worthless one. It's not that everything is more negative, but that the fake layer of positivity is taken away. I gotta end on that, y'all. I gotta end on that. That's so true. It's like you literally feel like, what's wrong with me? Like, today I'm depressed. Right now I'm depressed, And I went to a counselor, I cried, and I'm trying not to cry now. And it's like, why am I feeling this way right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason for me to. There's really no reason for me to feel this way. But that's how I feel. And if I said I'm just sad right now, that means that I would be able to pinpoint why I'm feeling this way. And I can't. I have a great job, Yeah, I got debt. I'm paying that off. I'm about to move. You know, there's a lot of positive things happening in my life right now. And here I am, still depressed, you know, turning to alcohol. So to say that sadness and depression are the same thing is truly belittling what mental health is. And just because you think something is a certain way does not mean everybody else thinks that same way. Please remember that from this, please. Last comment here. Skylar Friend says, I was deep in depression and had panic attacks a lot when I was battling my bone marrow disease and heart failure. It took many years to get where I am now. Lots learned and lots to share. Don't stop sharing, Skylar and Friend. That right there, what you just said sounds like such a powerful, powerful, powerful message. And a lot of people could benefit from that. So please continue to share your light, okay? I'm happy that you're in a better place now, Skylar. I really am. Lasha says, thanks for the stream and the conversation, and your community is here with you. I appreciate that, Lasha. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Lasha. All right, y'all. So I know it's time for me to end the video. I want to make this last announcement. These live streams, I promise y'all, I've been working so much on the back end, so many hours trying to study how I can make these live streams more interactive. You can see your comments here. You can donate money here. You can do this here. I'm doing every single thing I can for y'all because I really love this community that's continuing to grow. And it's making me realize, and that's kind of like a thank you, but it's making me realize, like, I'm not alone in this, and that so many other people in this planet are willing to join this community because they feel like they aren't alone in this. And I just want to say thank you. Like, thank you so much for staying with me during this journey, and I'm doing every single thing I can to make these videos so much better for you guys, and make sure this is a conversation and a time for you not to feel alone. A time for you not to feel alone. What's up, Cherry Boy? No problem at all. I'm glad to do this for y'all. I'm glad to do this for y'all. All right, y'all. I think it's time for me to end the video. So say it with me if you want to. Say it with me. You got to know my slogan by now. You got to say it. All right? You ready? So I think it's time to end the video. You ready? As I always say, do you stay swagalicious? Ooh, and keep smiling. Peace. All right, y'all. Have an awesome week. Keep smiling. I love y'all. Keep on staying swagalicious. Peace.